Get a minute, don't know. Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your. I show that I live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. God of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its side. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. And you said when no one's to be found, what keeps you eased out, what takes you off your mind.
Guess you want this, I want this. Everybody in this, we should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to the
Hey! How much did you hear?
What did you hear? Oh my gosh. You might be using that car sooner than you think. Just kidding.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to get in trouble.
We were just talking if he ever got kicked out of his house, where he'd be. He said his car.
I would live in my car.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I got everything I need in my car.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Everything. I got a pillow, blanket. I have...
That's it. That's all you need. A pillow and a blanket. You're good to go.
And I do have my gym membership.
What more do you need? Nothing.
I can shower at the gym.
There we go.
Yeah. It's cheaper living in the car.
I guess. Actually, there's a ton of people that I've seen
Yeah.
on
Toronto.
like, well, not in Toronto. Well, I've seen them on TikTok or Reels where they live off their car and
Yeah.
they show their like hacks of what to do. And
Yeah.
the reason why they've done it is because rents are so expensive, or they choose to because they're saving for whatever.
I would love to. If I wasn't
You
married,
didn't have 7 kids.
if I didn't have 7 kids, married, and like all these, I would totally be living out of my car.
You think so?
100%.
I don't think I'd be living off my car.
Not a Jeep. I would probably get like a
A van, maybe? A truck?
like a Jeep truck. I'm
Okay.
still getting. I'm planning on getting a Jeep truck, but
Yeah.
I would modify it to the point that I could like live out of the Jeep truck. 100%.
Anyway, welcome.
You can go anywhere. Like literally, you can go anywhere. All you have to pay is parking, which is cheaper than rent.
I know, but it's just, I don't know. It's just living off your car just seems so uncertain.
No, you're certain you're coming back to your car. It has an alarm system.
What about bathroom? What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you need
You
to
have
use the
to eat,
bathroom?
right?
Sorry?
You have to eat, right?
Well, what if it happens in the middle of the night?
What do you mean?
Do you have to go to the bathroom?
I've never gotten up to go poo-poos. I've never in my life I've gotten up to go to the bathroom. I'm maybe number 1, but never number 2. Like, I don't know. Maybe am I wrong? Like,
Anyway, welcome to Vision to Success.
welcome to Vision to Success, people.
Thank you for joining us in that conversation about where Miguel's going to do his number 2.
I'm telling you, we need to start recording our pre-shows because we have
we?
the most fun in our conversation.
Do we really?
Yeah. Well,
That's debatable.
so listen, have you guys ever done this? It's called Bean Boozle.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what this is?
No, and I can see that the writing is really small, so I won't be able to read that.
Oh, okay. Well, let me help you. So we're gonna do this today. We're talking about friendships, and I've always wanted to do this with a friend.
Oh my god, I'm your friend.
Yeah, we're friends. It's very simple. It's very, very easy. So there's this wheel, right? And you just spin it, and you just spin it, and you just spin it, and it lands on something.
Okay.
So there are a bunch of jelly beans here.
Oh, you have to eat them?
Right.
Oh my gosh, no wonder I failed.
I know.
So
This
yeah,
is the reason why. Okay.
I was gonna fail anyway.
Oh, 100%.
So I've been doing 75 hard. If you're not familiar with it, it's this challenge. It's done over the process of a year.
Yeah.
I'm in my last phase. I would have finished October 4th, my last phase. So 3 days until I was done, and I failed it. I failed it on day 28. I didn't talk to a stranger. That was one of the tasks. And this morning I realized, and in my mind, I'm trying to make up a memory, really. That's what I was doing. I'm like, I was walking. I think I saw someone. But I couldn't. And I wanted to have integrity with myself. So I was like, nah, I failed.
You are, I've said it before, you're a much greater person. With me, I would have been like, ugh, it's just one thing. I still took my cold shower. I still did my water.
Yeah.
So I didn't talk to someone. All right, who cares? I did it. And I would have completed it.
Yeah,
October 4th.
no, I couldn't, because even this last 30 days, I haven't been as committed as my previous other, like the 75 and the 230s that I've done. So I just couldn't. I already knew. I was already walking a fine line where I was like, was that a cheat? No, it wasn't a cheat. Like I didn't have anything else to eat, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But no, I wanna. You know, when you finish something, you want to be proud and you want to be like, dang, I really did do my best.
Oh, I still would have been proud of myself. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but
So I didn't talk to a stranger. Like, who cares? I still would have been proud of myself.
yeah, no, I'm like, no, I couldn't, because the whole thing, this guy, Andy Frizilla, he's intense. And he tells you, he's like, this is not for the weak. Like, if you're not ready to give 100%, even if you say you've done it, you haven't done it. And so he got to my head. I was like, if it's not 100%, I haven't done it.
But I don't know him.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I know him. I feel like he's like, they're yelling at me.
So if you don't know what this 75-day hard thing is, so for the first phase, 75 days, you got to do something like stupid, ridiculous. Like
It's okay. It's 5 tasks. It's not that much.
Anyways, they're hard tasks, and you have to do them for 75 days. And if you
Yeah.
don't, you have to reset that 75-day, right? So you can be on your 60th day. You do, and it's a combination of fitness, social, and
mental.
Yeah, and you pick your tasks, right? Something that you wouldn't do, and then you just do these
Well, you
tasks.
don't pick them. They're set. So the first time they're set, they give you the task that you got to do.
Okay.
With the last one, you had to do 8 critical tasks in additional to those tasks that were done by 75 hard. But I'll have you know, like, because I did it, I got so much better with my face routine, my skin routine. Like, look at how much better my skin looks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What about your hair? Like that
I knew you were gonna say it. Anyway,
that hair, I'm telling you right now.
nobody can see it. You know what?
I can see
That's
it.
fine. That's fine.
Okay, go.
But anyway, it helps you to move along in your journey of whatever it is that you want to do, and I've become better because of it. It's not about the fitness;
Right.
it's about the mental grit.
Okay, so and then so that's phase 1, 75 days.
Yeah. So it's 75. No. So phase 1 is 75.
Phase 2 is 30 days,
Well, okay. No. So 75 it stands on its own,
right?
and then you start into the phases, and there's 3 phases. So
Right.
phase 1, it's everything you did before plus visualization and cold showers. Okay, so you do that for 30 days, and then you have a 30-day break, and then you start your second phase. And the second phase is just the normal phase from 75 days that you did. So just a regular test. And then you wait till 30 days before you hit your 1-year mark, and you do the same things that you did in the 75-day hard
Right.
plus additional tasks. So the task that I was doing this last 30 days was 2 workouts a day, 1 outside, 1 inside for 45 minutes, a gallon of water, talking to a stranger, an act of kindness.
So you don't pick them. He tells you what to do.
Yeah, I picked my 8 critical tasks. So
But
in addition,
but that's what I'm saying. You pick.
he picks, so he has a set amount of tasks that you need to do.
And out of those you pick.
No. You do all those. And then there's an additional portion, like an additional task that says 8 critical tasks. Of those critical tasks, you're the one that chooses what they are.
Okay.
So I chose 6 tasks that I would do every day, and then the other 2 were things that I needed to do throughout the day.
So, and needless to say, I would not do this. Okay, so she's on her last phase before the year ends, October 4th.
I would have been done. Like, I would have been done tomorrow.
Yeah, done.
Yeah.
And so on her 28th day,
Yesterday.
she trips at the finish line,
I,
right?
on my face.
Face first planted. There's like mud and
Boogers coming out.
everything.
Because I'm probably crying by this point.
28 days, so 3 days before, and she just like, so if it was me, I would be like, it's one thing I would have done it. And she comes in like if she just lost her mortgage, something bad has happened, and I just could not understand what is up with that. But
Because
so no, you're better. I'm telling you right now, I'm admitting it. You're a much better person than I am.
listen, this changed my life. So if you haven't heard of it, check it out. Do it. It's
Don't do it.
life changing.
Don't do it.
Do it. Don't listen to
Don't
him.
do it. We're gonna bunch of angry members walking around. 75-day hard.
No, it is so good. Honestly, it like so good.
So this thing here, right? So it's a bunch of jelly beans. It's called Bean Boozle. Okay. Before we get to today's topic, because today's topic is about friendship, and I've always wanted to do this with a friend. So I did it with my family.
Okay.
Tegan opted out. She did not follow through, and my mom just would not go near it.
I'm worried. I'm
Yeah.
worried what kind of like things you have to do in this.
My mom and Isla, they looked at it and they're like, I'm not doing it. Like they legit just tapped out even before Tegan started, and then she's like, forget this. I don't need
Oh
this
my
in my
gosh.
life. So there's a wheel here with a bunch of different colors.
Do you think I'm gonna do it?
Oh, you got 100%. You're gonna have to do it. So this is the challenge. Ready?
Okay.
It's not 75-day hard, but still. So, for example, you have if it gets to like this thing. So so restart. So there's a bunch of jelly beans.
You okay? You're so
Yeah, no,
excited.
I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited. Hang on. So there's a bunch of jelly beans, and with the different colors. Now, they're half of them or more than half of them.
They're gross.
They're completely
They're like booger flavored.
like. Well, hang on. The one stinky bugs.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say stinky butts. I'm
No.
like, I don't even know.
No, but you know what? Hang on one second. Old bandages, stinky socks, barf, dirty dishwasher, toothpaste,
Oh, that's okay.
dead fish,
Oh,
boogers,
yeah.
rod.
Who hasn't eaten a booger? Everybody has eaten a booger.
I haven't. Ready?
Okay, I'll ask your mom.
I don't ask her.
I'm gonna 100% ask.
Rotten eggs,
Ooh,
right? Liver and onions.
that's disgusting. So all those, are they any good flavor ones
But
in
yeah,
there?
and so the equal is the opposite. So for example, right, if you get liver and onions, you might get it's this color, purple with dots, or it might be cappuccino.
Okay.
So you might get stinky bugs or toasted marshmallows. So you never know which one is the one that you're taking
Oh,
a bite
but
of.
because they're the same color.
They're the exact same color. So the game is very simple. You eat it, try and hold on to your face,
Okay.
and then the other person's trying to guess whether or not it's a bad one or a good one.
Okay. Let's
So
do
that's
it.
the game.
Let's do it.
You want to do
I'm
this?
ready.
So for those
I
who
knew
are
there was a reason, a higher purpose for me failing 28 days. I told you, God is good. He knew.
had nothing to do with this.
He was like, you need
So-
to be a friend to Miguel.
So this.
All right.
So for those who are watching, right? So we're gonna play this game, and all you have to do is try and put. You can even put it on the chat. Try and figure out if we, Maria or I, got a good one or a bad one.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Super
ready.
simple. So you want to go first, ladies
Sure.
first? Okay. So you got
Rotten eggs?
no. You got a. It's white with confetti.
Wait, with confetti. Okay.
So like this, right? So there's another one there. There's another one.
I'm nervous. I'm
yeah.
like, do I grab the one that you
Oh,
like?
There's another one right there. So
Oh, any white ones with confetti.
yeah. So here are your options, right?
Okay.
If you grab it, it can be a birthday cake
Okay.
or dirty dishwater.
Okay. Not horrible.
Wow.
Okay. So I grab it and then you have to guess it. Do
Yeah.
I eat half of it and then
No,
you try
you
the other
pop
half?
the whole thing in your mouth, dude.
Okay, the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing. You have to start munching, and you gotta.
I can't
I'm
just
nervous.
swallow
I'm
it.
so nervous right now.
I can't.
Yeah. You just gotta down it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that is.
How are you going to know that I'm not lying?
Well, you tell the truth after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Oh, I tell the truth. Oh,
remember
okay.
that integrity thing you're talking about? 28 days. I think you got a bad one.
Okay. You do?
Yeah.
No, it's actually a good one.
Is it?
But you like my... Because I don't know.
I know you did it. She flinched. She did one of the. She did a
Well, it's
flinch.
because when I bit it, I wasn't sure what was going to come out. So it was the anticipation flinch.
Oh no, I'm so
Okay,
scared.
you go ahead.
Ready, my turn. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Now it's stuck in my teeth.
Okay, I have pomegranate or old bandages, and it's the red with white.
There.
Yeah,
Which one are you going to do?
and you can't even. Okay, here we go.
Just
Ready?
do it. Just pop it
I know. Just hang on one second. Don't.
Pop it in.
Just hang on. Ready? So, are we? Is it bad or good? Here we go.
You had like your serious look. Okay, is it Old Bandages?
It is Old Bandages.
Does it actually taste like Old
Oh
Bandages?
my gosh, I don't know how they capture that scent.
I'm like, we're like losing things. Sorry.
Oh
It
my-
was really that bad. What did it taste like?
Old Bandages.
But I've never tasted an Old Bandage, so I don't know what it tastes like.
Mm.
Like dry blood. Like what does it taste like?
Oh, hang on.
It's gross?
Super.
Oh, wow. Really gross? Oh, dang.
I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they captured that.
Okay. I'm glad I got a good one.
We'll do best out of 3.
Okay.
Oh, hang on one second. So right now,
I got one.
yeah, it's 1-0.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's not going away. It's not going away. Loser has to do something.
Like what?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Play for $20. Ready? Here we go. You have. So it's like a white one like this, but it's super confettied, like big confettis
Oh,
like
like
that,
that? Okay.
like big chunks, and it's either Tutti Frutti
Okay.
or Stinky Socks.
Oh, thank goodness at least it's not that horrible.
You should have seen her face. You gotta swallow. You gotta follow through, dude. Oh, did you just swallow it whole?
No, it's still there.
She just swallowed it whole. Let me guess, it's bad.
Okay. If you can capture the taste of like Parmesan cheese mixed with like something rotten, that's what it was. That was disgusting. In my mind, I was like, how bad can it really be? It's bad.
Listen, this is their 6th edition. I have no idea.
This
how-
is disgusting.
Yeah, yeah.
Who does the taste testing there? Can you imagine that job? I can't even get rid of that
No,
taste.
but even that, how do they capture that scent? Like, because when we played it, I got a couple of bad ones, and it was just they captured the scent.
The taste is still there. I thought you were being extra, but I'm like,
No, dude, it stays with you, especially when it goes up in your teeth.
oh. Okay.
So 1-1.
Okay.
Ready? So either juicy pear or boogers.
Oh, boogers is not bad. I guess it's the green one.
Yeah, it's the green one.
Like,
I'm not going near the one you touched, just in case. Ready? Here we go. So either juicy pear or boogers.
chew it.
I'm trying.
Does it taste the same as your boogers? Is it slightly different? Okay, you gotta do a poker face. But it is really hard to do a poker face with this. Is it the boogers?
What do you think I got?
I don't know. Is it the boogers?
No.
Because I'm like, I don't know. It is really hard to do a poker face with those nasty ones.
It's a pear.
Thank goodness, eh?
So it's a pear. So we're 1-1 right now.
No, you're 1-2.
Yeah.
Because you got, so I got one. So I got one, and then you got 2. Because you guessed that the one that I had was the,
Oh yeah, 1-2.
yeah. So this is the last one. Okay, this is the last one.
Let's save it for last.
For what do you mean? At
for
the end?
at the end of the show.
Oh, gosh. The anticipation, eh? That's disgusting.
Honestly, we're not being sponsored by these guys or anything like that, but I'm telling you, it's on Amazon for like $10-15.
The best $10-15 that you'll spend.
The best. So we have this by our front door, and so when people come over, like, you want a jelly bean?
That's so gross.
And then we're just looking at their faces.
This would be such a great youth activity, actually.
Zane, oh yeah. It's a challenge that went viral. Bean Boozle.
Bean Boozled. That's pretty gross, but pretty
And
fun.
and again, 6th edition, and some of these tastes are absolutely disgusting. But listen, we're talking about friendships, and the reason why. So there's
reason to your madness?
Yeah, there's there's a method to my madness, right? It is. It's This is not something that I would do with just
Anyone from the
yeah.
street?
No,
No, you wouldn't.
no.
You just told me you give it to people when they enter your house.
With friends who enter our house, not just like the
UPS.
Amazon guy. It's like, you
Can I
want a
have
bean? I would too, though, but that's just me. But no, we're today we're talking about friends. Did you have an opportunity? I don't know if you had an opportunity to see the description. I know we talked about it on Friday, but the description.
Oh no, I didn't get a chance to read it.
So this is this is a topic that's very interesting because anytime that I talk about friends or friendships or anything like that, I always think like youth. Anytime that I've always talked about making friends and developing friends or maintaining friends, I've always talked about it to youth. I've never had an adult conversation with another adult about adults.
Yeah. I see it. This is a topic that I see all the time coming up. And it's mostly because, with women, you have a lot of mom groups, right? So
Sorry.
a lot of moms usually, I feel like women are more open with regards to this about how do you make adult friendships? How do you meet other people, especially if you're at home or you don't really go out that much? How do you do it? How you maintain a friendship?
Your mom's going through this.
Well, yeah, because it's a new experience for her right now,
my mom,
too, right?
My mom went through the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And she's still going through the exact same thing, right?
And it's hard. It is so hard.
Yeah.
Because so to share an experience, this has to do more with myself, but when we were about 10 years ago, we moved from London, Ontario. We lived there shortly, and then we came back to Brampton. And when we came back to Brampton, we moved to our church was a brand new ward, per se, a brand new group of people that we've never been with and whatnot. And I went in, and I had great difficulty making friends.
Credit View?
Credit View.
Really?
For a whole year, I wanted to come out of the ward.
No. But when you came back, it was a brand new ward?
No, it wasn't a brand new ward. It was a brand new ward to me because I didn't know anybody there, right?
Okay.
I didn't have any friendships there. Like the people that were around my age, I didn't really know. And I was desperately wanting to make friends. I mean, everybody wants to make a friend, at least have one connection, feel welcome.
Yeah.
And I desperately wanted that, right? And I didn't get it for a year. But this is the thing. I found myself that I was upset. I found myself that I would go to church and I would see this group of women that were my age. I was like maybe my late 20s. And they would all sit together. And I was like, and they would just talk to each other and whatnot. And I would just sit in the back and I'd just be by myself. And every Sunday I was like, can't wait to move out of this ward. And so we tried
Really?
so hard for a whole year. We're like, we're going to get out of this ward. Like, we're in the process of buying a house. And our only con was the fact that we were in that ward. So anyway, at the point that we bought the house, we're like, okay, so I guess this is it. This is the ward or the church that we're going to be going to. And my mindset changed. I was like, okay, have I been saying hi to people? Have I been going out of my way to go to people? Have I been going to activities? Have I tried or done any effort? And the answer for myself was honestly no. I expected people to come up to me and say hi. I expected people to notice me. I expected people to include me. And when I had that realization that it was up to me, it was completely different. I actually made an effort. So I started going to activities. I started talking to people. And then I started doing it more and more because I never wanted that feeling for somebody else.
So for you, so hang on. So I think you hit a really good point here. You didn't talk to anybody until you were per se trapped in that ward. Before you were one step in, one step out.
Exactly.
We're in the ward here, but as soon as we find a house, we're out of here. So you didn't make any efforts whatsoever.
No.
But it wasn't until you're like, okay, we're screwed. Like this is our ward. Let's make the best of it.
Yeah.
And then you start doing some self-reflecting and you started reaching out to people.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for that house, your mentality would have still continued to be the same.
100%. I would have peace out, Credit View. I'm gone. And I would have trash talked everybody there saying, that's not a friendly ward. Look at me. 100%, right?
Okay.
But no, I realized that it was me. Right. And then interesting enough, right? A year later, so all those women that I told you that I was like, look at them. Like they're always just so cliquey and they're all with each other and whatnot. I ended up finding out that a few of them had actually social anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, and that they had difficulties themselves making friendships. So I'm like, it's interesting. You never know what another person is doing.
Yeah. So brother...
Hermano, also known as Day.
Ring on. How do you pronounce it? Vivera?
Very.
Rivera. So brother Rivera.
You gotta say it with a. You gotta say hermano, but like with an English
Oh,
accent.
Hermano Rivera says, but people stay in their cliques, in their little cliques. Normally, if you're new somewhere, the veterans there should also help you
Ovary.
feel welcome.
Hermano ovary. Yes, hermano ovary.
Hermano over. Okay.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
100%, right? I think there is a mixture of two things. There are people who are legitimate, like trying to make other people excluded. But I think, at least it's in my thoughts, and maybe it's my hope or my positivity or my wonder to make this, like to really think that this world is a good world, is that I think the majority of people are so stuck in their heads that they are actually the ones worried about how they're going to be perceived. They're worried about like, oh, if I go and say hi, they're going to think I'm dumb or like I can't do something. Because at least with the people that I came to know in the ward, it was their struggles. They had personal struggles that kind of prevented them from reaching out.
So here's my thing, right? With all of that is the fact that when, so Gordon B. Hinckley, he's one of our church leaders. He passed away a couple of years ago. But he says that every member going into a ward or every member coming into the church, they need three things, right? Being nurtured by the good word. They need a responsibility or a calling. And number three is they need a friend. Yeah. But it's interesting that his advice to that you need a friend wasn't to the new member. The advice was to the existing ward. So when somebody's coming into the ward, that someone needs these three things.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like he's going to the new investigator, the new member, and saying, you need to find a friend. I think so to today's point here is that we need to be welcoming. If we have these cliques, okay, we have these cliques, but just include people into these cliques or just not have cliques at all, whatever. I don't know how I feel. but the whole point is that that effort needs to come from us.
100%. I think it's like a twofold thing.
Yeah.
It's like both the person you want to be welcoming, like
Well, you weren't a new member though.
No, I wasn't. But it can happen to existing members too.
Yeah.
It can happen to people who are seasoned veterans in there that you think like, oh, they've been there like 40 years. They know everybody. Because I also had an experience with somebody who's in my ward who we were serving in a calling. We were volunteering in a calling together and we had a meeting. And she was like, she's like, I don't have any friends here. She's like, I feel excluded. I feel alone. But yet in my mind, she's a seasoned person who's been there X amount of years.
That's interesting.
And I see her talking to people. Right. So I'm like, it just kind of like, it just boggled my mind. But everybody's experience of friendship is very different.
So, okay. So hang on one second. So because we talked about this on Friday, right? The levels of friendships or the levels of knowing people, right? Mm-hmm. So now this is not, I mean, I want to coin it that we came up with this and whatever. I don't know if there's anything else out there, whatever. But
no, we came up with it.
We
trademark it.
We trademarked this thing, and so. But we did talk about like levels of friendships or levels of get to know. So if you have different opinions, please let us know. But I think so. I think what ends up happening with these people is that so there's acquaintances. So you see people from a distance, like hey, whatever. They know you, you know them, and that's pretty much knowing but not biblical. Yes, 100%. So acquaintance is like, hey, how are you? You recognize each other, and then it's like, Bob's your uncle. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's like friends, and I think when you go to a baptism or you go to a munch and mingle, you talk to people, right?
Yeah.
They're social. They're and whatever. And those are, they're your friends. If in the ward, if you need somebody, I'm moving, have a whole bunch of people showing up to your house. They're going to help you. That's what friends do. We're here for each other. Then after that, we put here really good friends.
Yeah. Like BFFL style.
The fact that now you don't need an event to hang out outside of church.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like you and Mike and Tegan and I will go out together.
Yeah.
We don't need a baptism to hang out. Mm-hmm. We don't need a Christmas party at the church to hang out. We will find opportunities to hang out, to socialize and whatever. And I think those are like really good friends.
Yeah.
On top of that, then for me, the third level, if it does even exist, those really, really like best friends that
I made it to that level.
No, you haven't. No, she hasn't. I told you not to bring that up.
100% I did. 100%.
I told you not to bring it up.
Okay, it's okay. We can share with our friends. Don't worry.
I still have the taste of that jelly bean in my mouth and I can't get rid of it.
Way to go. Way to change the topic.
Oh, it's so disgusting. So
Okay.
if you just join us, we played Bean Boozle, which we're gonna finish the round.
It's a disgusting game.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Okay, so this is the thing. As you were saying, so we had this conversation about different types of friendship, right? I now believe that everybody experiences friendship differently. Because in my mind, absolutely, I believe in those different levels. But I actually came to realize that I'm very I might consider people my friends who maybe don't see me as a friend. I came to that realization because I'm like for instance.
No, but they're just being fake at that point. Because
Well,
if they're like, oh, Maria, yes, or and then the minute you woke up, "Ay, no la puedo creer esta mujer," and they start talking like
trash about me.
Yeah,
But I'm-
nasty.
but you know what? I realized I'm like, it would suck to kind of find that stuff out. And I mean, it's happened before and I worked through it and whatnot. But I'm like, I feel like my group of friends or people that I consider friends, it's such a large amount of friends. Like, I will literally meet you. And if you and I click and connect, I will consider you my friend.
Right.
So, but I'm like, to others, that may be an acquaintance. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, not this level we're talking about though. An acquaintance is just like you're passing ships. You're saying hi, and it's just like it's somebody that I know. You recognize their face, and you may know their name. You may not know their name.
Okay.
Like they're passing ships.
Yeah.
Friends. Friends. Oh, I thought
People think friendship is at a level it isn't. Some people think friendship is at a level it isn't.
Yeah. So some people think friendship is at a level it isn't.
I don't get it.
So meaning that you talk to somebody and you're like, oh, this is my friend, my friend, my friend. Then you guys separate, and then this person starts talking trash about you.
Oh yeah.
So you think your friendship is at a level, a certain level, but
and
it really
it's not
isn't.
right. But I'm like, I personally have let go of that expectation. I'm like, I can't control what other people think of me. So I don't know. I almost feel freeing because I will talk to anyone. I will sit down and have a conversation with anyone.
And that's fine. Those are friends.
Yeah.
But would you hang out with them after church?
Not if they're talking trash about me.
No, not those people. Not those people.
Maybe if we had
So
things in common.
If
we had things in common, yeah.
100% of your congregation, you would meet up with them at a coffee shop and just start talking to them. La hermana viejita that sits by herself, you were just like hanging out or whatever.
You know what? I think like we talked about it before. There needs to be commonalities.
Right.
Yeah. So
and that's where it goes from friends to really good friends, right?
Yeah.
Where now you're hanging out and you don't need the event to bring you together. Now you're coming together because of those commonalities.
Yeah.
You guys, you and Mike are similar as us, right? Married with kids, same church. We got this business happening. There's so many things in common that when we sit down, we don't talk about the baptism. We don't talk about the Christmas things. We are talking about vacationing and doing this and doing that.
Yeah.
Like it's our commonality that's bringing us together,
it's
right?
True. It's true.
So those are like the really good friends that your best friends that you will hang out with outside of those.
Where you can be vulnerable. I think a best friend level equals that your ability to be vulnerable. I was friends with Miguel, but we stopped talking to me once I prank called him. How good I swear. Please tell me about that prank.
So this friggin' guy. So this is what Day wrote, right? I was friends with Miguel, but he stopped talking to me once I pranked him when the prank called him. All good. I support my friend. Laugh out loud. Okay, so the story here is this. This joker can do accents.
Okay.
But like really not stereotypical racial really legit racial
Like
accent.
ethnic accent.
Like ethnic
Yeah.
accents, right? And so I get a call from this unknown number, and so I pick it up. That's the day that I
Was
stopped
there
picking up.
reason?
Yeah, that's the day I stopped picking up phone calls, right?
Okay.
That I didn't recognize. But he calls me and he's like, "Oh, my friend," and so he starts talking to me, whatever. I'm like, "Okay," and then I forget what the conversation was about. But he was supposed to. He had me committed to something.
You actually.
No, I'm telling you, this sounded legit, right? And he was like, yeah, I'm coming. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, okay, good. So he's like, I'll call you in 2 days just to give you all the details. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll be waiting for you, right? So he calls me, yeah, a DJ for a quinceañera.
Okay. Oh man.
So I'm like, yeah, sure, call me in 2 days. So he calls me in 2 days and he starts talking, whatever. And he's like, anyways, I don't know. Then he said something something about electric circus or something like that. And I'm like, okay, this has to be a prank now. And then,
Way to go, Day. You like kept this prank for like 2 days.
but I don't remember how I found out because he never broke character. He just kept on going with it. And so I don't, if you remember, let me know, but I don't remember how I found out that it was him. I'm like, okay, I'm never picking up a phone. If I don't recognize the number, I'm never picking up that number again. But no. And so this is very interesting because we go back to Scarborough days. Like he used to go to Cedar Bay Ward, right? And there was a time where the youth program was hurting, and I knew of Day. And so I'm like, I think this would be really cool if they can join the youth program, become a counselor, and really help the youth. Anyways, it just took a calling. But again, going back to President Hinckley, needs a responsibility, being nurtured by the good word and a friend. And so when Day came in, we got close.
Yeah.
He had a responsibility. And all of a sudden, like Day became like this super strong person, community member, served his mission and stuff and everything.
What you're trying to say, I hear, is you're welcome, Day. That's kind of high and mighty.
I didn't
totally
say
get
that. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. All I said was this is the prime example of
what, having a friendship or like the responsibility.
Yeah, the responsibility, but it's also like getting rid of those cliques.
Yeah.
And then because when you're coming to church, so here's another story, right? And that has to do now with our church. My older brother, he's not a member of the church, right? He goes to a different denomination. And so I dropped off his aunt, okay, to this other thing. As soon as I walk in, so you have to go by a kitchen. You have to walk past the kitchen, which was on your left-hand side. You go down through the gym and then this big, huge open like congregation area, right?
Yeah.
As I'm walking by in the kitchen things open up, whatever, and there's all these ladies in the kitchen just cooking.
Yeah.
Just cooking. And as soon as they saw me, it's like fresh meat. And so, hermano, how are you? Are you staying for the meeting? And I'm like, no, I'm just dropping off my, this aunt, this lady here. And she's like, no, stay. And I felt so welcome. And it was on a Sunday. And if it wasn't Sunday, guaranteed I would have stayed.
Yeah.
And it smelled so good.
Yeah.
But how they made me feel, I will never, ever forget how they made me feel.
Yeah.
Just so welcomed and loved, and they didn't know me, and they were already preparing a plate, and I'm like, I gotta go.
Did you take your plate with you?
No, I
You
literally
should have. Come on, the Spanish way.
in sacrament, con pupusas and stuff like that. But that was the thing, and that was the first time it had happened to me, just being fellowship like that.
Yeah,
and it
true.
felt amazing. It felt amazing. So that's that. But I could say that they were friends / acquaintances. But yeah, I don't see myself going to Tim Hortons and talking about like what we did on the weekend.
Yeah, with that
group.
Well, yeah, because obviously you just met them, and it's just an acquaintance, right? It's feeling welcome, fellowship.
No commonalities, no nothing like that, right? So, and I think that's where it goes from level. That's what I'm saying. The levels of friendship.
Yeah.
Acquaintances, friends, and just best friends, really good friends, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
I would totally agree. So I'm like, if you're an adult, I think when you're in high school in these ages, it's easier. What?
My mug.
Oh yeah, your mug. Sorry.
Fantasy Life mug. Join the mug club.
There we go. But I think when you're I think we're not prepared enough when we're adults to develop and nurture friendships because life changes.
But how does that happen though? Because we were when we were kids,
We were able because we get in our heads. Because life gets busy, I think we get in our heads, we have responsibilities. And in reality, if you want to nurture a friendship, it requires work.
you honestly think it's a lost skill?
I think so. I think when we're kids, we're curious, we're open. That's why kids can play with anyone. Kids will play with anyone. And that's, it's funny because Mike, when he served a mission, he said that the mission president always said that quality comes through quantity.
Okay.
Right? So you have to talk to a lot of people to kind of find those people that are your people. And I'm a firm believer of that, right? If you are kind of going in with the mindset like this is it, like a one and done, and this is going to be my person, it doesn't always happen because it didn't happen to us like that when we were in school. We went into kindergarten or your first grade in school, you went in and you were with a class of 30 kids and your teachers told you all of them were your friends. But then people gravitate to people that are like-minded, even when you're little, right? But you're still open. Then as you get older, you end up, like I look at my daughter who's in kindergarten, and now I look at my 11-year-old, and the people who
got a very interesting call today.
my 11-year-old has a cell phone now because she goes to a school that's quite far from our house. And she's like, she sends me a text and she's like, I got a weird text, Mom. And I was like, oh gosh, what did it say? And then the text was like, hey, I'm in town tonight. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, block.
You know what kind of calls those are.
Oh my gosh, my poor babe. Anyway, but just like how my daughter, my 11-year-old, makes friends is now based on commonalities, as opposed to my, my 5-year-old who's based on whoever's there.
Yeah.
But it's like with friendships, I think it's quantity over quality, and we have to kind of decrease that expectation that we're going to be best friends with the first people that we meet, but rather be open and curious to get to know all these other people. And hey, if it doesn't work out, it's not a lost cause. Rather, you have to be kind of grateful and being like, hey, I tried something. Now I know what I definitely don't like, and now I can move on. Kind of like dating.
I think a big portion of when we get as adults is one of the biggest fears, which is, I talk about it in my book, the 7 Imps, is the fear of rejection.
Yeah. When you're little, you don't have that fear. How many times did our kids get told no?
Yeah.
Hundreds, and they still keep asking the same thing.
Levi, I would kick him all, like he does not know the word.
Kid.
No. Well, I took him golfing on Saturday morning. No, Saturday between sessions.
Yeah.
We went to a driving range.
Oh, that's so good.
No, it wasn't. I almost broke a club over him. I was so angry. I'm telling you right now, this kid. So, you know those carts that pick up the balls? Right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those?
Yeah.
Anyways, so this guy, and it's caged, right?
Yeah.
So he's driving whatever, and it doesn't stop people from driving, right? From driving the ball, because if it hits the cart, it's protected and whatever, right? But then he starts to go in front of us. I would say about maybe 100 meters, maybe less than that. And he picks up a ball and goes, I bet you I can hit him. Like, throw it. And I go, Levi, don't do that. And he goes, just watch. And he throws it.
He didn't use the club. He actually used his hand.
He picked up a ball. He's like, Dad, I bet you anything I can hit him. And I go, Levi, don't do that. He goes, just watch. And he throws it. And everybody just so embarrassed. Everybody stops what they're doing at this 11, 12-year-old kid grabbing a golf ball and trying to chuck it at this guy driving the cart. And I'm like, dude, I'm done with you, man. I'm like, but they have no fear.
Yeah.
You tell him don't, and they have no fear, right?
Yeah, that didn't stop him.
The
embarrassment didn't stop him. The potential of him being kicked out of there didn't stop him. Like, there was a lot of things that could have gone wrong. It didn't stop him, right?
But again, and so I think as we get older, for some reason, and I haven't been able to figure it out.
We're conditioned to it, though, right?
But we're not, though. As a child, we're not. We don't grow up with the fear of rejection. So where does that fear come from?
Because we keep being told no. If you are repeated a sentence long enough for X amount of years,
You
right?
think so?
Absolutely. That's how fear grows. There's 3 levels of fear, but we'll get that into that discussion a different day.
Yeah.
But this particular fear is because we were told, like, I think one is that we were told to be careful, or the fear of being rejection. But the other part is also within us, to be outside of our comfort zone. But 100%, that fear is something that is both learned and that we have inside of.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truth be told, the reason I'm doing is like a hypnotic program.
Yeah.
And what it is that it discusses fear. So I do one, which is like managing your fears. And then I do one for affirmations. So they have one.
But hang on.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
So in this particular fear one, what the person says, what my hypnotist says.
Well, my crystals.
And my cards. Woo!
We've gone so far left. Look what the aura around me.
No, but legit, I'm sure that there's data to back this up, right? But he pretty much says that when we were growing up, that we were curious, we were open to try, and then we continuously were told no, 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 no. So we end up fearing the things that we said no. So anything that causes stress, rejection, we end up fearing it.
I don't know, dude. I honestly, I hear you and I get it. And
But you're like, I don't accept it.
Because
Yeah.
no, and again, I'm not, and maybe it's just because I don't know the data, or maybe you're just doing a really horrible job explaining it.
Probably. I probably am.
No, and but I hear what you're saying, and I guess what I still need help is if you can help me wrap around understanding. As a kid, you talk to anyone, right? You talk to people, you talk to friends, and all these different things. 'Cause
Well, I guess you're more likely. I think you're right. I think with some people, because there are those kids that have difficulty even from the very beginning.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and that's just like whatever, right? But I'm talking about like yeah, and then that's just whatever. But hang on, what I'm talking about is, and then these same kids, they become adults, and then all of a sudden, they go into a new classroom or into new settings, and they don't want to talk to anybody because they are afraid. And so I don't know. Okay, and so now they're
Okay.
afraid to make friends because of
Well,
fear of rejection, right?
Yeah.
So the no that you're talking about as a parent to a child is, can I hit that guy with the golf ball? I'm like, no, you can't, right? But Dad, I really want to do it. No, you can't. Dad,
This kid has no fear.
no fears,
I
right?
mean, it might end up in jail, but
That's fine. He'll make a lot of friends there. He'll make a lot of friends there.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't know how me telling him no, don't hit the guy with the golf ball, translates into like, I don't want to talk to somebody because I'm afraid of them.
Yeah, I can see that.
And
I
that's-
think
that's
in
what I
that
don't see.
sense, I think in that sense you're right, because I'm like, we have to tell our kids no. I have an issue. Not I don't have an issue. Maybe I do with gentle parenting. I
Oh.
don't gentle parent. And
We're
not to
Spanish.
say honestly,
We're Spanish.
if you do out there, my kudos are to you, because it's just, for me, it's just so hard to kind of wrap my hair wrap my hair around it. And I guess I do some of it, but it's just, anyway, that's a different topic. We're jumping from one to the other.
No, but actually, no, it is, because he goes is
Yeah.
what's stopping us, right? What's stopping? What does he say? If you also come, what is he says?
Well, he says fear also comes because you don't want to be judged. Caring what others think too much can be a stumbling block. 100% day.
So, you know what?
So you have rejection.
Yeah.
And then you have this.
So with that in mind, so what I think with that in mind, and I just thought of it right now. I think what ends up happening is that at some point in time, you reach out to someone,
Yeah.
and that someone says no, and it sucks and it hurts, and so, you know, as a traumatizing as that can be, you never want it. You never want to go through that again.
Because it's pain. Emotional pain is the worst.
It is deepened, right? It sinks into your bones, right? And so I think what ends up happening is that you're afraid for that to happen again. So then you close off.
Yeah.
When I was 16, I liked a girl, right? And I was in love with this girl. Like we're not dropping names, but I was like, I thought I was going to marry this girl. And then I was calling it, she totally ghosted me. So she created ghosting before ghosting became a thing today. And so she ghosted me. And then I was like, this sucks. I remember at my sister's house, because she would block my numbers.
Yeah.
And so I went to my sister's house to call her from her house. And so she picked up. And she's like, yeah, I don't think we should date anymore. I don't, what my mom.
Is that how she broke up with you? She didn't even tell you? She just stopped, like...
She ghosted me.
so you didn't know.
Right.
Okay.
So I didn't know. So then I went to my sister's house because I was trying to call her, right? I'm like, here's this girl that I'm gonna marry with, and marry and have babies for the rest of my life with, right? And she's not answering my calls.
Yeah.
And so I kept calling from my cell, I kept calling from my home, and she wasn't picking up. So I went to my sister's house and I called from there, and she picked up. And I'm like, hey, like, where have you been? She goes, oh yeah, I've been meaning to call you. This is after like 2-3 weeks.
Oh, dang.
Right. And she's like, yeah, I've been meaning to call you, and I don't think, my mom doesn't want me dating right now. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So obviously we broke it off, but I was so emotionally hurt. I went on like in a fetal position, sitting down, whatever, just bawling my eyes out. Like I remember this day like it was yesterday, right?
Oh gosh,
And
that's so hard.
It was so hard. And then I came out of that thinking, I am never going to feel like this again. So growing up, every time that I had an opportunity to build a connection with somebody, I would stop myself because this is just going to go south. And then I would just break it off really
you didn't
quickly.
want to feel that again.
I didn't want to feel it like that again, right? So that experience, and because I never dealt with it, and I wasn't doing any personal progress, I didn't know that was a part of life. Nobody had talked to me about it. I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't process it, and so that hurt me or damaged me during my youth because I would start dating a girl, I really liked her, but then I was like, oh, this is the same thing's gonna happen. I'm getting too emotionally attached, and I would break things off.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until my mission that I had to reset that way of thinking because now I wanted a family, I wanted kids, and I wanted to be married in the temple.
That would have like if you didn't, that would have kept you single,
Oh,
or
100%.
or you would have had like babies with different
Oh,
women, and
100%,
like you would have just
100.
kept going.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. So I think fear as adults, when we don't approach somebody, is because at some point we've been hurt
Yeah.
because of rejection. And so now we have the fear of rejection.
Yeah.
It's like when you get bit by a dog, all of a sudden you're afraid of all dogs.
Not necessarily. I got bit by a dog. Not afraid of dogs.
You're not?
No, I got bit right here.
Oh, Tegan's got some clients in here that as soon as they see the dog, like they start crying. And normally it's because they got bit before.
Even Creed did a little nibble. That was a little too hard.
Oh.
I got his teeth marks on me too.
Did you really?
Yeah.
When? Today?
No. This was a while ago.
Oh.
But I
dang.
was like, there was a lot of stuff going on, so I just didn't say anything, and it was okay. It didn't hurt. I just noticed after that. I was like, oh dang, I have some teeth marks.
Really?
Yeah, you
Did
can
you was
see it.
Creed or Mike?
It was Creed. This is Creed.
You stop.
Yeah, it's Creed.
This is Creed.
Yeah.
These two
These two. This is my other one.
from Creed.
No.
What
This
the
is-
frick?
No, this is from when I got bit when I was like 5 years old. But this is Creed.
I think you're lying. There's no
No.
way. So he broke skin.
I didn't realize it until later.
It might have been Mike. It wasn't Creed. It was Mike. Creed doesn't bite.
Look at how big Mike's jaw is.
Yes. I want something to.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my theory at least. Again, it can't be backed up. It's just that's what I'm. That's
No,
what I'm thinking.
I do believe that because I think all of us don't want to feel that hurt.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, not crazy, but I guess it's interesting how when we close ourselves off to
Yeah.
any painful experience, we also close ourselves off to
I
every
love that.
positive experience.
I love that. That is so true. Because I was able to. Yeah, because I couldn't get over it. I was never able to make any meaningful relationships.
Yeah.
Right, and it wasn't until I had to do a hard reset that I was able to, with Tegan, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think to make friendships, just kind of what we've discussed, I'm like, two things need to happen. You have to be curious and open,
Yeah,
and you have to remember that quality comes to quantity.
yeah, I like that.
So it's the more people you meet, the better your skills are getting about making friends.
So here's my question before we get to these bamboozle things. So we're right now I'm winning 2-1, just to let everybody know here.
They're like so disgusting.
They are absolutely disgusting. So we need to find out who the winner is. So
I didn't think
So-
the thing could actually taste like dirty socks. I was like, how bad could this be? And then I literally choked it. I was like a baby bird, like
she tried to
regurgitating. And then I tried to swallow it whole, and then it got like stuck, and then I just looking for my water.
she tried to swallow it whole. Yeah,
I
it's
did
not working.
swallow it whole.
Ladies and gentlemen, Beamboozle, if you're out there, you want to sponsor this show, yeah, give me a call. But anyways, before we get to this, our final round, is there a difference between how guys make friendships versus girls?
Yeah, and I realized
You
that
think
when
so?
I realized that we had this conversation on Friday, and then I later talked to my husband about it too, and I realized for women, I read this book as well, which is called Women Are for Mars and Men Are from Venus.
No, the other way around. Men
Or-
are from Mars, girls are from Venus.
Yeah, and in there it actually talked about the need of women to connect, the need of women to talk about their problems, to just be so verbal and so nurturing and all that. And then it talked about men, how men are fixers and they need
Yeah.
to kind of like solve their own problems. So I'm like, it makes sense that women need a bigger community of people around them, that they need to be able to reach out, to be vulnerable, not to get their problems fixed, but rather just to vent
Yeah.
and to be heard.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, it makes sense that women almost have a need to have more friendships. Because when we were talking, your perception of friendship was completely different.
Yeah.
Want to share?
No, so it's gonna make me sound whatever, but this I've had, and you know what? Going back to what I was saying about those traumatizing experiences, I've had a lot of.
You've been burned.
I've been burnt a couple of times with people who I consider them friends,
Yeah.
right?
I think it's because you have almost a little bit of walls around you, right? So you've opened up yourself to these people, and when they didn't meet your expectations, it's like,
Yeah.
should have never done it. Close those back up.
Yeah. Well, those walls became a part of it, and then I was closed off, and then I was like, oh, okay, this person. And so I would open up again, and it's like, oh, same thing happened and close. And I think it's and after our conversation on Friday, I was just trying to figure out as to why. And I think my biggest problem is that when I give all.
So do you have the expectation of the same person?
Yeah. And that's not their fault. Right? And I realized that after we spoke on Friday.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. When I connect, I want to give everything. I want to give my all, right?
Yeah.
I give my all. Remember that song? I don't know if you remember that
No,
song.
you're
But
too old. That's a boomer song.
That's not a boomer song.
don't
Get out of here. But I do. I give my all. And then when that person doesn't reciprocate, and I'm like hurt. I'm like,
Yeah.
is it me? What did I do? And it's like I want to develop this friendship more, and it's not happening. And so yeah, then I close off, and it's just like I'm done.
And the interesting thing is because it reaffirms the story that you've already told. So that's why it's even harder the next time, right?
Yeah.
I think for me, I've had negative experiences with friendships. I know, right? Did you see a tear? He had like a little tear welling and like coming out. So I have been burned in the past. I mean, I was bullied when I was in high school. My house was egged. I moved countless of times, so I never was able to develop meaningful friendships at all through my high school years, or even in my 20s. Maybe like a one person here and there, but even the one person who I trusted was talking a whole bunch of crap about me when we were in university. So I did have walls up, but I have to say that in this past year, I give freely without expectation. Does it always work? No, because sometimes you do want people to reciprocate and you do want to have others be kind to you.
Yeah.
But I think now it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Because even when people talk crap about me, it hurts me, but it hurts me for like a week at tops. And then I'm able to move on.
Yeah.
So it's...
So, and again, so I think you're right. After a conversation on Friday, I shouldn't do that, or I came up in anyways. And then
No, but it's good, right? Because now you know what area, if you're ready to tackle it, what area that potentially you could work on.
And
See, power of friendships.
But here's the thing is, right? It feeds into my struggle with low self-esteem. Because then I'm like, I can't maintain a friend. And,
who am I? Look at me.
Who am I? What is this person? So with me, after I spoke to her on Friday, I was like, I don't need a best friend in my life. I go, right now, I'm so focused on the business. I'm focused on my family, my calling, my children, that I don't have time to have a best friend. However, in preparing for the show today, there was a study that says that it is impossible to have good physical health without a good friend.
You're welcome.
And what? For what? Hang on one second.
For being that friend, you're welcome.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. But yeah, it says and I have to continue reading this article, and we may talk about it more later. But having the whole physical strength or physical wellness being attached to a good friend, I don't see the link.
Just my experience.
Yeah.
But when I've been so bogged down in my thoughts and having no ability to see any other way, even though I've talked to Mike, even though I've talked to like perhaps family with regards to this, I have to say that you being my friend and then Michelle being my other friend as well and other friends, when I've opened up, you guys have helped me to see my blind spots, things that I could do differently. And automatically I've experienced a stress release. it's like a burden was lifted. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't see it that way. I didn't think about it that way because our life experiences make us different.
Okay.
So technically, when you're in the midst of it and you're like this and you just see your problem because you're so deep in your circumstances, you need a friend that helps you to see the bigger picture. And I think that's the power of friendship. And that's why friendships are so important. And that's why you can't give up no matter what. Even if your friends sucked in the past, hey, they taught you something. They were there for a season, a time. It's part of your story, but doesn't have to continue to be that same story. So
Interesting. Okay.
those are my thoughts anyway.
I stand corrected. You know,
There you go.
I've learned. So thank you so much.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn, ladies first, right?
All right. So is it that one?
No, it's
I
the
can't
purple
see.
one.
Oh,
So
dang it.
you got either strawberry banana smoothie. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. Are you ready for this? So for those
Pray
who are
for me, please.
So for those who are logging in, we're playing Bean Boozle. Bean Boozle CEO, if you're out there, please sponsor the show. We need money.
Totally.
So
So we got lots of kids to feed.
we got a mortgage to pay. But and so what it is you get this wheel, you spin it, and for every jelly bean of the same color, there is a completely disgusting flavored one or just an absolutely delicious one. So right down, Maria, you
Oh my gosh, I'm
have
afraid. What's the gross one?
okay. So it's like an orange one with
Is it the dots?
no. That is no. So that's
Is it the big dots then?
no, not the big one. Hang on. It's these like these ones, these peach ones
Oh, okay.
with the red. So it's either a strawberry banana smoothie.
Or what?
Are you ready?
I'm just gonna swallow it whole.
Oh my God. Or dead fish.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, dang.
Poker face.
I know. Keep chewing. She can't. She can't chew. Keep chewing. She doesn't like it. I don't even think you're chewing on it. You got the dead fish?
I got it. That's the most disgusting thing I've ever. Can I scrape with something?
That is so disgusting.
That is disgusting. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like I'm in a fish market and like on the side and there was a boat and I grabbed like some like salted fish that had gone and I licked it. That's what that tastes
So
like.
I don't have to do it because I won.
You won. That was the most disgusting thing I've ever had. I didn't even like. I can't.
You can't?
No. I.
The Kleenex is back there.
Oh yeah.
Come on, finish it up, dude. 75-day hard. Go.
That is not a hard I choose
You
to
know
do.
what?
Thank
You
you
know
very
what?
much.
I'm gonna do it. I know. Technically I've won already. So even if she gets it right, I'm winning. But I have.
That was disgusting. The taste is
Oh,
there.
no. Butter popcorn or rotten eggs.
Okay. Which one is it?
It's the white with the yellow here like this.
That looks like butter popcorn.
They all look the same, dude.
I'm just trying to be positive. Just put it in your mouth, man.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's either buttered popcorn or rotten fish. No, rotten eggs.
I feel like it's butter popcorn.
Final answer?
Yeah, my final answer.
It's butter popcorn.
Aren't you glad? Have
so
another
good.
one.
No,
Let's
I'm
see.
not.
Have
The game's
another
over.
one. Have another.
There's no way I'm winning those.
Oh my gosh, that's so gross.
And that's how you play Bean Boozle. So we have to figure out my prize because I won. Oh, that
It's-
tastes so good. Butter popcorn.
Oh, that was the most disgusting game I've ever played.
I was so happy. I grabbed 2 of these boxes on Amazon. They're like $20 or something like that. One box with my family and the other box with I was gonna play with Maria. So, anyways,
And that's the worst part about jelly beans. They
I
get
know.
stuck, right?
I'm not a fan of candy or jelly bean, but anyways,
All right.
ladies and gentlemen, Thank you so much for logging in today. We love you. We appreciate all your support.
Are you okay?
It's stuck back there. I don't
He's
like
like
it.
trying to get it out. Anyway, we're so grateful you guys are here. Remember, follow us and all our socials. Can you see my finger? There we go. And remember to support the show. You can support the show through getting our gear. We're going to be coming out with more. We're going to be coming out with some downloadables that have honestly helped us so
Yeah.
much in our journey. So be lookout on their store. Our passion is to help others.
Yeah, I
And
think
that's
so.
what brings us joy. So just make sure you log on, you support us, and share our show.
Absolutely. And remember the Mug Club that's coming out in the next couple of weeks. And so that is a yearly support. It's a Patreon for you guys to us. You get this wonderful, beautiful tin mug that says I am awesome. And it just, again, supports the show and allows us to do and create content for you guys. So
Absolutely. And most importantly, too, it reminds you how awesome you are. 'Cause You are. Mm-hmm.
Because you're awesome. All right. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Get a minute, don't know. Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your. Let it. I sure gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. God of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its sides. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye.